Oh, okay, cool. I will set my watch and we will stop at the half hour mark. All right. Here we Oh. Oh no.
Bagsy Chronicles. Stop riding all the homies with me.
Yeah, we been getting hella faded. Just like our eyes, we be staying low key. Vibing now, always staying
Medicated.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, everyone. Join me in welcoming to the Bag Seed Chronicles, Dr. Grenskye of the famous and infamous seed company, Redscare Seed Company. Welcome. How you doing, Dr. Grenskye?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, it's always a pleasure. I'm always excited to have you on. Although I don't want to bury the lead. This time, although it's harvest season and we're all very excited about that, we're not so excited about some of the stuff that got hidden in the big, beautiful bill that just got passed for the funding for the country.
Yeah, that was a pretty big setback with that amendment they slipped in on us.
Yeah, and for the audience, could you kind of explain what went into that amendment?
Yeah, so late at night, before the government shutdown ended, a couple Republicans led by Mitch McConnell, and I think also a Democrat from Illinois. So you have the alcohol lobbyists on the Kentucky side wanting control of the THC um, drinks, the beverages. Um, and then on the Illinois side, you have the LMASOs wanting to take control over the flower cells, THCA loophole, what have you.
And what's an
So
MSO?
late, multi-state operation.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Just for clarification. I forgot, so I assume the
Yeah.
audience might have forgotten too. Continue.
I use
Sorry.
that terminology quite a bit. Typically, those guys are not in the interest of the home grower, the small batch farmer. They're looking to control the market.
Right.
So late at night, before they were about to pass or present the bill to reopen the government, they slipped in an amendment to ban hemp as we know it anyway. So we have a 0.3% THC threshold, and they're currently looking to make that a total THC. So instead of just THCA, it'd be a total, cannabinoid. And if it passes the 0.3, it's no longer certified hemp.
So they've basically made hemp illegal overnight.
Yeah.
Because once you get down past a certain threshold, the cannabis plant really can't go beyond the threshold they're asking in its current form, correct?
Correct.
So is there a grace period built into this bill, or is it like effective immediately? I know Trump already signed it.
There is a 1-year grace period. That's good. It gives hemp lobbyists, states' right advocates, things like that, a year to file lawsuits, try to get this amended. So that the verbiage has changed a little bit.
Do you think this has any effect on a broader cannabis legalizations effort in some of the states that haven't legalized yet, or do you think this is another step forward, a step backward? I guess is a better way of phrasing it, as far as enforcement and the amendments that protect us from enforcement in our state legal markets.
Personally, I think it's a big step back. It closes a tax loophole. Um, the only people I see really supporting this are people that are afraid their kids are going to go into a gas station to get THCA gummies, and corporate growers and state license holders who probably feel like since they paid 50K minimum to 150,000, 200,000 in grow fees and state licenses, that everybody growing under the THCA law was just growing up a loophole, taking advantage of the system. And I guess they feel like everybody should be paying, six figures for a life of a plant.
Yeah, it seems backwards to me to fight this change instead of buying in. But I don't really understand the ins and outs of it. I understand that this year was kind of a banner year as far as falling hard alcohol sales in the United States.
Yeah.
And the other thing that people need to remember, and that, we don't live in a one country world, right? So what happens in America has effects elsewhere. And what people got to remember is not only did the booze people, like these especially Kentucky bourbon, took a big hit when Canada did these reciprocal tariffs. So not only did they take a hit from people deciding that, hey, maybe I'd rather smoke a joint on Friday night than drink a 6-pack. Also, Canada was like, guess what? We don't want your bourbon no more. So
yeah,
it's been a 1-2 punch. And also, alcohol companies haven't been doing themselves any favor on the PR front. Did you hear? I think it was Jack Daniels stopped giving away their like slurry or whatever, their leftover corn mash or whatever, to local farmers to feed their cattle.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was like a big program because they would have all this. Forgive me, I'm not a distiller. It's the leftover when you brew a big batch of hard alcohol, no matter what kind of hard alcohol you need.
The leftover match.
Yeah, you need grain, so you got to, and then at the end of that, you've got a bunch of half-spent grain, and apparently the whole Kentucky cattle industry has been on that tip for a while, and that feed source just dried up.
Damn, it's a shame.
It is a shame, but like at the end of the day, I don't know. I mean, listen, I'm not some big capitalist or anything, but if you're living a capitalist society, you have to have a business model. And if your business model is all my feed comes from the Jack Daniels factory for free, and you don't have any kind of backup plan or anything like that, I mean, dude.
Gotta have a plan B.
A lot of these people had no plan B.
Crazy.
Well, that's unfortunate about the hemp bill. McConnell, on his best behavior, as always.
As always. He's got to go out, with a big 6-figure check. I don't know if it's true yet, but I've seen rumors that he was paid up to upwards of $890,000.
Yeah. I mean,
just to throw this bill.
Yeah, it's crazy. All the shenanigans that these folks get up to, buying stocks, doing insider trading, getting all but paid, like, quid pro quo, getting away with it. Not to mention all this other stuff that's been coming to light this week that I don't even want to talk about. It's crazy up in Washington.
And then if a grower tries to write off the soil purchases or amendments, lighting, electrical costs, you got the tax man crawling down your throat.
Yeah.
These guys, you got Nancy Pelosi. God, what she make upwards of $10 million on insider trading.
Yeah, and then her husband too, right? He did it. He made a couple of good trades.
Good old Paul.
You know what's funny? I don't even think she's the biggest one. There are some, like, she's the most famous one because she's been doing it the longest. But she's up like a ridiculous percent. But there are other congressmen. I looked up a list, and she's only like number 11. There are some like younger congressmen.
Same.
Yeah. Oh, hey, speaking of which, hey,
gotta get them young.
If you've got a little extra money lying around, the Marjorie Taylor Greene just filed and bought a bunch of Procter and Gamble a few days ago. So.
Oh wow.
So there you go, killers, and they're saying that she's really good at calling the bottom, from what I understand. So, hey, I'm not, I don't have $154 or whatever it is for a Procter and Gamble stock, but if you do, hey. You want to gamble on MGT? You go right ahead. You go right ahead.
I think I'd rather go play some blackjack.
I don't know. The market doesn't make any sense. You're just as well off. I don't know. I don't play in that too much.
Right. Same here. I'm a peasant farmer boy.
Although you can buy Wendy's stock now for less than $10. I don't know. Your mileage may vary.
Wendy's is dead. That's a dying shame.
Shh. Everyone go out and buy Wendy's stock, okay? Don't ask me why.
Rally it like GameStop.
That's right. We're gonna run a whole pump right here. I'm not dumping. I'm just gonna use all the money I make to buy more Wendy's, okay, guys?
We're just pumping.
Listen. I got high one night. I downloaded E-Trade. The rest is history. Just don't ask me about my position on Wendy's. I was like, listen, everyone's going to be poor, and everyone's going to eat at Wendy's. And I was wrong.
Right.
I was wrong. Come on, this little redhead could turn around. No, anyways. So how was your harvest?
Harvest was good. I think we talked about this briefly, but I fought termites. I didn't realize to what extent until after I harvested, but it looks like 70% of my plants or so were infected with termites to some point or another.
Jeez Louise. Yeah, and you said that what was it, the goblin gas did the best at like living with termites inside it?
Yeah, it did. It performed like, nothing was happening. That and the Dell Bernhardt. I had them straight up kill 2 plants.
Yeah,
I was replace them mid-season, beginning of flower. So that was rough.
I watched you cutting down those first 2 plants, and honestly, I didn't want to tell you, but I'm like, oh, dude, he's fucked. I thought your whole garden, like in a matter of a couple, because like there's certain pests that I've never had any experience with termites, and they seem like they're really hard to counter. We talked about this in the Lost episode that I did not record successfully. I've got like a 37-second hilarious blooper that I'm going to put on the back of this of me realizing that I did not record our interview. But they're regional to your area of the country, which is good because I don't want termites. But whenever a pest gets to a certain level and you've lost it, like you haven't noticed it or countered it to a certain degree, sometimes you just lose your whole crop. I'm glad you didn't. The only other thing I've seen that takes them out at the base of the stem like that is those gophers.
Yeah. Yeah, so the damage is really hard to see. If your plant's healthy, if it's getting lots of nutrients and it's thriving, then you're not going to notice.
So do they burrow in at the base?
Yeah, they go in at the base, probably at the root system and straight up.
Yeah, that's rough. So you don't notice until
sometimes there's not even an entrance.
Oh yeah, so they're coming right up through the root system.
Yep. And so typically right around bud set, if winds pick up, you might see a branch snap. Something might feel a little brittle. And when that happens, you can check the damage, check the pith if any branch that breaks, because a lot of times you're going to see a little bit of black or brown, from damage from the termites.
That is nightmare fuel. I'll tell you what. Did you have any other pest pressure this year? I knew you grew in a greenhouse, so you were insulated from a lot of the flying stuff, right?
Yeah, not a lot. I had some random grasses pick up some aphids.
Okay.
That was it. They stayed isolated to the native grasses. So they were right outside of my greenhouse, but they never really made it in.
Yeah, I've got aphids on my indoor plants right now. I thought I'd done everything good because I dry in my garage. I'm also growing in there in a tent, and I must have either transferred or my cat brought in some aphids because my cat got in my grow tent the other day, and I'm like, fuck, I bet he brought.
And they're tough, and they're really resilient. They've built up a tolerance to pretty much most every pesticide, so it takes a good cycle and a rotation of things to kill them off.
Yeah, what I'm probably gonna do, I picked off the leaves. I'm in mid-flower, so I can't really spray anything. What I'm doing is I'm picked off the leaves that had the worst aphids, and I kind of just brushed them off with my fingers. They're not up into the tops yet, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to monitor, and I'm going to do one of two things. If I can keep them kind of to a respectable amount where they just make the plants kind of look kind of shitty, but they don't get onto the buds and start shitting on them, then I'll probably run it out and just, proceed and just, keep the tops and maybe throw away the lowers. Or they might get to a point where I'm like, all right, and I just cut the trellis net and cut everything out of the tent. Just call it, oops.
I've had to do that before too.
So we're kind of right on the cusp here where I'm basically just in holding mode. I'm not giving them any more nutrients. I would have liked to give them one more feeding, but with the aphids on them, I don't want to make the plant like super nutrient heavy. I hear that can help aphids progress faster.
Yeah, it seems to. Yeah.
And honestly, I think I'm where I'm going to get as far as the early flower set. So I'm just looking for a little bulk, and it's whatever. This was like the last 4 clones that I took from that like outdoor shit where this year when I did my last lollipopping for the outdoor girls, I just took the cuttings and threw them in Coke bottles on the back porch, and like I'd missed them sometimes, but like on no schedule, and they actually rooted. It took them like a long time, like 30 days, but they rooted, and so I ended up with all these clones, and I like cleaned them off and brought them inside, and I finished a run in my 2x2 a few weeks ago, and now I've got this last group in my 4x4 on my garage, and I made it this far until almost December running the same genetics without messing it up and getting a bunch of shit in them. So I kind of thought this might happen. This is part of why I like to grow autoflowers, is a lot of times autoflowers are done before the pests can find them, or like you'll be like, oh, I have an aphid, and then you'll be like, oh, well, it's chop day, whatever,
Right, yeah. I'm a rookie with autoflowers. I'm probably going to get my toes wet a little bit this year.
It makes a big difference what genetics you select. Way bigger than photo periods. You can kind of grow a runty photo period out and it'll be all right sometimes, but like autos, like you really got to pick your genetics. Like,
yeah, I've seen some real hit or misses.
I've had really good luck with, what have I had good luck with? I've got, let me see here. Gem Seeker Genetics has a lot of autos that'll get kind of big. He's out of Oklahoma. And the one that I like from him is a Blue Eyes White Dragon. But while we got our grace period, get with me offline, maybe we can do a little package sending before they come down on us.
Yeah, man, that'd be cool.
I could send you some loose beans.
Back to the exotic bird feed days.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I got some chicken feed. I got some duck feed. You got to be careful. Don't let that raccoon get into it. Okay?
Do not get them wet and place them 1/4 inch below the surface of the soil. Do not do that.
I hope that, because honestly, one thing I'll say, I don't want to like put all my faith in lobbyists, but the hemp lobby historically in this country has been a lot more like aggressive and unified than the drug variety cannabis lobby has. We have a lot of
100%
things to learn from the hemp folks. I know you're a hemp folk sometimes too. You're kind of a both kind of folk. But
yeah,
specifically the hemp folks really fucking never lost the plot. The hemp folks were never like, all right, it's legal in like most of the states, so like I'm gonna just sit back and hit my bong. It's inevitable. Whereas they just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and there are people like, oh, gas station weed, and they're like, yeah, fuck right, gas station weed. How about Delta 8 gummies too, bitch? They just didn't stop pushing. They just kept going.
That's what a lot of people don't understand about this current ban. Is that in the state of Kentucky, the Kentucky Hemp Association has been fighting with big alcohol lobbyists for the past 2 years over THC drinks, and who has the right to distribute them.
Yep.
So that's a big part of it as well.
Yeah, and that just lays bare to the lie of laissez-faire capitalism and all this shit. Because if that were true, everyone could distribute them, and whoever distributed them the best and cheapest would just get all the contracts, right? But that's not how any of this shit works.
The last thing the government wants is a true capitalist society.
It'd be a bunch of fucking trappers and madmen out there like owning everything.
Yeah, because in that situation, whoever's got the funk wins.
Yep. Yeah, it's been an interesting last like few months and years. Honestly, it was kind of slow news as far as cannabis, and then we got this the Second Amendment thing coming up before the Supreme Court soon. I talked about that in the last little. What's that?
I said, yeah, that's a pretty big one.
Yeah, it would be it'd be
in states like Illinois, we can own guns if we've already owned them. But if you're a medical marijuana patient, you can't go buy a new gun.
Yeah, and that's kind of how a lot of people here have interpreted it. Like, but before you went and got your medical card, you just go buy whatever piece you think you needed, and then that's what you've got. There's no updates. There's no, and to a degree, that's good enough to keep you off of anybody's radar. But that's something that if you ever, for God forbid, end up with, pigs on your property, and they find guns in addition to, that can just cause additional problems. And that's why that law is there. It's not really to nail people for that. It's an additional charge, or if for some reason they can't get the drug charges to stick, they can still nail you with that somehow. It's just an additional charge. Yeah. Got to feed all these private prison investors.
That's right. Keep these fucking peasants in line.
It was really funny watching a few months ago before the election, all these big money people talking about how, we need to discipline the workforce. And then I watched all these older workers talking about, that these kids don't know how to work. I'm like, honey, they don't just mean, they mean you too. You're too fat on the hog. You get too much time off.
That's right.
And sure enough, man, they came out. That was the funniest thing. I mean, I don't want, actually, you know what? Fuck it. I'll get political. What was funny about all these layoffs and about this AI shit is it's getting everybody. It's getting middle managers. It's getting warehouse workers. It's getting everybody. Nobody's safe.
Yeah, nobody's immune to this.
You can't fake this bullshit, at least not yet.
Not yet. You'll never be able to fake it in the end.
Well, no, because that'll stagnate. I hate to listen. Does AI have its place in like whatever? Oh, I'm sure it does in some industries, but it's T9 on steroids. That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's predictive text. It's good for a lot of things, and what it's good for is eliminating the entry-level thinky jobs. And if there are no entry-level thinky jobs, none of the top-level thinky jobs will get done. Because what people don't realize, especially in highly technical fields, yeah, you got to go to college, but then you have to learn from someone who has practical knowledge. So there's like a very long, years-long step to become like a top nuclear scientist, or like some certain forms of like microbiology and chemistry. Like these things are like lifelong pursuits, and they're just getting rid of like the foundation skills. That's what the AI can kind of do, is like the foundational stuff, but it'll never move beyond that. And so what it's doing to our education system and to everyone who's using it is it's like atrophying the part of their brain that does the boring shit.
Yeah, that critical thinking part.
That's not good. I think that's really bad.
Oh, it's terrible. But I see a bust. AI is just going to be a bust. I don't
Oh
give
yeah.
it 5 years, 6 years. I think it'll play out.
Honestly, there are
It's not
some.
it's not sustainable, economically or environmentally. Either one.
No, I know, but we both know that economically matters more in the American system than environmentally. And
Yeah, it's all just you know, basically the Cold War 2.0.
yeah, and I think maybe China already won the AI race.
I think China's already won quite a few races.
Yeah, well, it helps to be able to plan for more than 4 years. That helps.
It does. It helps to not, expand your military across the globe
Yeah, yeah.
in a continuous war that never ends.
Well, there are some people, not to get like way off topic, but let's go ahead. Why not? There are some people saying that this Venezuela thing is the United States trying to become more of a regional like power and not so much a world power, like kind of contracting and just trying to control North America and South America.
Good luck.
Yeah.
That's not a very good place to start either.
No, they're not they're not China, but they can stand up for themselves and really give us a bloody nose. And I don't know if people know, but the Navy is a little bit understaffed, or at least they were last time I heard. I hear that 7th Fleet a couple years ago was having all these accidents where ships were running into each other and stuff.
Oh wow.
Yeah. But I think that short term they kind of say the recruiting crisis is kind of over. But I don't know what this economic stuff is gonna have. Like, I'm a veteran, so like I was in the military while 2008 happened. Like I joined in 2005. I got out in 2013, and right when 2008 happened, I was kind of distracted. I was prepping for a deployment, and then I deployed in 2009. And then I got back in 2010, and like everything was just slightly shittier, like noticeably. The cool thing about the Army is when you get trapped on like a base in Afghanistan, you come back, you just land back in America. It's more, they're more connected now, but like we had like an MWR where you could rent the internet for 15 minutes and write emails and shit. So you were kind of detached from the culture, right? So you came back and there were like new top 20 hits, new styles. People would wear their hair a little bit differently because you'd be gone for a year. And like right now, if you and I are here, we're seeing all that stuff change, right? But we'd go away and it'd be one thing, and then we'd come back and it'd be another thing. And so that was kind of an interesting experience that I got to have in the military that I don't think people think about, is you kind of go away to Never Land for a while and then you come back.
Yeah, you leave in 2021 and you come back in 2022. And
yeah.
Everybody's got bullets again.
Oh my God. That was something that I was not ready for, is some of the 90s styles really coming back hard, because honestly, some of it's fine. Like I like joggers. Pants are cool, but like guys, like the mustaches and the mullets and the wraparound sunglasses and all of it unironically, and the little chains and all right. We're just gonna run all this back, aren't we?
Yeah, those are quick recycling.
Oh. Well, you said you had half an hour. We're right at about 29 minutes. I know, because the recording timer is going.
Nice.
Do you
got to record this time?
Yeah, we got a recording. Yeah, and the signal sounds amazing. Is there anything you want to?
I'll keep that in mind.
Okay. Is there anything that you want to say to the audience before you get out of here?
Yeah, just be on the lookout for a few new drops this year. I think I've got a Dale Earnhardt F2 drop coming up before Christmas, and then I've got GMO Fuel F8 that I'm hoping to release by the new year.
All right, man. I might have to have you come back on for a little bit and tell us about that.
Oh yeah, man. Anytime.
Always love to hear from you, Dr. Grenskye. Check him out at Redscare Seed Company 7.0 on Instagram. You can find him online. They are always shutting him down, and he was always popping back up. You can always find me following at least 3 of his current accounts at any given time on either of my social media if you can't find it through the search bar. And that's it, folks. See you next time. Thank you for listening to the Bag Seed Chronicles. And if you enjoyed this episode, please share it with a friend. Peace out. Yeah. Groovy.